I have found the longest song from 40 different bands, and in today's video we're ranking every single one to find the best, longest song ever. Before we get into it, I just want to say quickly that this is again completely my opinion, so if you disagree, comment your opinion down below. So let's start with 40, but the thing is I don't quite want to say what 40 is, and I'll get to that later, but I'm going to have to start with 39, and I'll explain later. But in 39th place, and the worst longest song ever, is by the Beatles, Revolution 9. This is an 8-minute song. It's very famous, probably know it, and it's basically 8 minutes of random sounds, reversed audio tracks, different like weird vocals and sounds. It's a mess. It's definitely meant to be more of art than something you actually listen to. And yeah, I never ever listened to this. I don't think anybody's just sat down and enjoyed it. That's why it's last place. And right after that we've got Iowa by Slipknot. This is a really long song, 15 minutes this one is, and most of it's just like weird random ominous sounds and like repeating riff, but it's just nothing special. And then the rest of it's just absolutely screaming. So it's a very hard listen for me for somebody who doesn't like Slipknot anyway. So that's why it's quite low down. You might put it a bit higher. Similarly, we've got Endless Nameless by Nirvana, another one I knew before. This one's not as long, 6 minutes, but it's again mostly completely just belting screaming, and the rest is weird sounds, so not a good listen at all. And right after that we've got the first one that's kind of more of a structured song. We've got Sir Psycho Sexy by Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah, the name gives it away. This is not a good song at all. I could never see myself listening to this. This is a really bad song in my opinion. Okay, 35th we've got Mind by System of a Down. This is basically the song that sums up System of a Down as a whole. Like, I like them overall, but they are a very chaotic band, and this song is as chaotic as it gets, and it's quite a hard listen. You know, I can't see myself enjoying listening to this. A lot of just screaming for no reason, not very structured at all, and it can work sometimes like that, but this song just doesn't in my opinion. And next we've got The Prophet song by Queen, which I kind of had my hopes up for, but it wasn't very good in my opinion. It was the beginning and the end was alright, I guess, nothing special, but it was alright. But there's like 4 minutes in the middle of really bad singing. Oh, sorry, I guess the singing's not bad, but it's just singing. It's kind of like vocalizing. I can't really explain it, but it's really annoying, and you have to sit through like 4 minutes of it, and it's just like vocalizing, nothing else. Okay, we're getting into just kind of like boring ones, nothing special, but they're, I guess, alright. 33rd we've got Midnight Rambler by the Rolling Stones. Apparently this is about a murderer, so that's not great, but yeah, the song's nothing special either. 6 minutes and 53, quite boring overall. Similarly, we've got Once, 7:43, Van Halen. This was, you know, when nobody cared about Van Halen, 1998. After their prime, you know, the 80s, they carried on making stuff with different singers, but I don't think anybody cared at all. And Once is an example of just a boring long song. And right after that we've got another boring long song, Ain't No Fun Waiting Around to Be a Millionaire, that original AC/DC stuff, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap's the album, and I think it's very boring for a long song. Nothing really happens in it. And yeah, it's alright, but nothing special. Next we've got I'm Lost Without You by Blink-182. It's their kind of emo phase, that early 2000s. They'd gone away from the pop punk a bit, more to just emo in general, and this song is just not that good. Probably into one of the most iconic long songs of all time next, and I think it's a bit overrated. We've got In My Time of Dying by Led Zeppelin. It can get very annoying. Like, there are some really, really cool parts of the song, some great guitar work, very cool areas, but song as a whole can get quite annoying in my opinion. Quite a controversial saying that, I think, but I'm gonna say it. 29th, Led Zeppelin. 28th, we've got Green Day, and I was really sad about this because Homecoming is in 28th, but they've got another song that's almost as long. So this one's 9:19, but they've got a song called Jesus of Suburbia that's 9 minutes and 8 seconds, and that one's so much better. If this was on this list, I'd probably put it first. In my opinion, it's one of the best songs, if not the best song Green Day ever made. Homecoming is a bit longer, which is another 9-minute song that's just annoying. It can get really annoying in times, so that's why I have put it all the way in 28th. Before I get into the next songs, songs. I do want to talk about that 40th place that we skipped up, because this is not, let me get this clear, this is not 40th place, but I just didn't know where to rank it. This is Atom Heart Mother by Pink Floyd. Now, of course, they're known for their long songs, 23 minutes. This is very, very long, and I had no clue where to rank it, so I put it at the bottom just to give it this little area, but it's not the worst song, obviously. But I had no clue where to rank it, because it's 23 minutes of an instrumental orchestral piece of music, so it's not something you would listen to, even like long songs that you do listen to sometimes. It's not the kind of song that you just listen to in your free time. So if I was comparing it to some of the top 5, top 10 songs, I would never put it there, because I would never listen to it. But then again, I don't want to put it near the bottom with literally just boring songs, because it's very interesting and very cool in lots of places, so I don't know where to put it. Comment down below where you would put it. For now, this gets its little separate area in the list. 27th, we've got Moment of Surrender by U2, another one of those boring songs. I mean, it's okay, there's nothing wrong with it. It's good, but yeah, nothing special either. Okay, I don't know how to say this, I don't speak German obviously, but Das alte Lied by Rammstein. I've got no clue what that means, what it is, but I always find it quite interesting that a German language band is very popular within English speaking people, because they are one of the most popular metal bands in the world, but all the stuff is in German, so that's very interesting. Language-defying music there, I guess. I don't know much about Rammstein, but this song was alright. It was on their debut album, so I don't think they'd polished up their style very much, and it was just alright, nothing special there in my opinion. How Soon Is Now by The Smiths. I had my hopes up for this. I'm getting into The Smiths recently, I think their music's great, but this one, as one of their most popular songs, I thought was going to be great, but it's very boring. It's got some cool, the music itself is quite cool, but I think overall it can get very boring. It's a long song, obviously 6:47, and it's just not that good. Okay, next we've got Black Sabbath, Megalomania. This was after Ozzy Osbourne, I think, left the group, I'm not sure though, and this song is, good. It's very, very long, 9:41, and I did enjoy it, but it's nothing special at the top, but it does get this place because it's obviously a great song. Okay, 23rd, we've got Clint Eastwood. This one's not really a rock song, so I'm not sure if I want to keep it on this list. It's more of a rap song, if anything, but it's by the Gorillaz, and it's literally their second most famous song, so I don't really need to talk too much about it, but I think it's got some really cool moments. I'm not keen on the rap part by Del the Funky Homo Sapien, okay, but overall the song's alright. Okay, next we've got the second shortest song on this entire list. So Panic at the Disco's shortest song is only 4 minutes and longest song is only 4 minutes and 54 seconds. So compared to the 10-minute tracks on this list, this song's barely even 5 minutes. In fact, it's not even 5 minutes. And yeah, it's nothing special, but it's alright, so I gave it 22. Quite cool. 21st, ABBA, one of my favourite bands of all time, The Day Before You Came. So this one on their last albums, I've poked at a few times in other videos, and I'm just saying that it could have been one of the coolest songs they ever made, but I ranked it quite low on their ranking of every single song that I made, because it's cool what you do here. It's got this ominous, chilling music, very intense, is that the word? Just mysterious, and then vocals about the day, like a girl's day before somebody came. So it's meant to be like that, just nothing interesting. That's the theme. They could have done that on a shorter song. I'm not really going to sit there for 6 minutes and listening to Agnetha, I think is the one singing, talk about her day. It starts really cool, because I remember listening to it the first time, I was going, okay, this is really cool actually, but I hope that it gets better towards the end. I hope there's some sort of climax, and then 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes pass, and I'm like, getting a bit boring now, and it was a very big disappointment when it just ended without anything big happening. And I know that's kind of the point of it, but yeah, it annoys me a little bit. I wish they did some sort of climax at the end of the song. Anyway, it's still a cool piece of music, so it gets 21st. Okay, 20th, we've got Creedence Clearwater Revival with I Heard It Through the Grapevine. You're probably thinking, no, that's not their song. No, it's not their song. But they made an 11-minute jam session of the song, a cover. And then just, a jam session at the end that lasted 8 minutes. And it does drag on. It really does drag on. But it's still cool. Very cool. And I think that's where I'm going to leave it, 20th. I've got nothing else to say about it really. By the way, well, I remember, to be on this list, you can't be just a song with 5 minutes in the middle to be a bonus track. No, it needs to be completely music all the way. So that's why you might not see some songs that are really long because of a bonus track at the end. Okay, we've got two really long songs right after each other now. We've got The Lightning Strike by Snow Patrol, 16 minutes, probably the third longest song on this entire list. And it had a lot of potential at that. I was listening to the first maybe 6 minutes and thinking this is going to be top, and it just dwindled. I mean, it had that 5 minutes in between that was really boring, which obviously happens in experience songs, as I like to call them. You don't listen to it like any other songs, it's just for the experience of listening to it. So a lot of those kind of songs have about 5 minutes in the middle of quite silent, quite boring stuff, which is fine, but it doesn't really pick back up that much. I thought that it had something cool at the end, but it kind of does. Nothing too special. 19th, we've got Empire of the Clouds by Iron Maiden. Empire of the Clouds on a more recent Iron Maiden album. It's not from their prime in the 80s and 90s. This song was quite cool, Empire of the Clouds. I'm not sure what it's about. I know it's kind of told more like a story, the vocals are, and then it's got some epic music. I think it's really cool, but I can't really say that it's anything really special, so I'm gonna put it in 18th. I've not got too much to say about it. Next, we've got Star Treatment by Arctic Monkeys, and I can't say that I like the new style Arctic Monkeys are doing. You know, I love the early stuff, the garage rock stuff they were doing. I didn't mind AM, I think AM was great, but I'm not sure what you call this. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino and the Car album, those two, they kind of took on a new style. I think Alex Turner himself matured a lot in that time and, you know, changed from the garage rock, teen rock kind of style to a more polished, a more experimental style, which is great, but I can't really say that I enjoy it that much. Star Treatment itself was a cool song, I did enjoy it, but nothing incredible. Line in the Sand by Linkin Park is next, and this one I can't really say too much about. Remember, I've only listened to these songs once, so it's possible that if I listen to them again it might get lifted up a bit, but overall this song was just good. I can't remember a ton about it because I listened to it about a week ago, and it was, yeah, good, but I can't really say too much about it. Kings of Leon, one of my favourite bands, Knocked Up, is in 15th. I really like this song. It's 7 minutes, so it does drag on a tiny bit, but I think it's got some cool some cool styles in it. It's got a lot of things packed in, and I think it's a great song. Similarly, we've got Sands of Time by Fleetwood Mac. This one isn't much of like an big experimental or big story. It's just kind of like a Fleetwood Mac song stretched out a bit. So that's not a bad thing, but it's nothing special, I'm trying to say. You know, it's not like an experience song or anything like that. So I kind of just have to say that it's good. It is a good song, but I'm not putting it very high up. Waking Up, on the other hand, is kind of more of those experience songs. I mean, it's only 6 minutes, so you can definitely listen to it day to day. I feel like the line between listen to day to day and an experience song is about 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes. Waking Up itself is kind of a good song. It's got a ton packed in. Didn't really expect that kind of song from One Republic, to be honest, but it is kind of before they got very mainstream. Not that I'm saying that their modern stuff's rubbish, just this isn't what I expected from them. Good song. Another quite experimental song next, we've got Goodnight Travel Well by The Killers. This was, I think, the first song I listened to on this list, so I can't really remember it a ton. Like, it was about a week ago I listened to it for the first time, and the last time. Well, until now, if that makes sense. I can't really remember a ton about it, but I remember enough to know that it does deserve 12th place. I didn't expect to put Coldplay up this high, but Coldplay is in 11th. And by the way, before I talk more about Coloratura from Music of the Spheres, the way I picked these bands is I got every single rock band included in this video. Top 15 most streamed bands in the world, so that was, you know, the most popular in the world, and then I added about 7 or so that I liked or were also very popular. For example, Van Halen I added. Coloratura is in 11th. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, it feels a bit wrong, Coloratura, not sure, but it's a cool song. It's 10 minutes, so I feel like it's from Coldplay's very experimental era. I did listen to Moon Music from last year, and that was a very experimental album. Music of the Spheres I haven't listened to, but Coloratura seems to fit in with that style, so I do think that it is one of those new Coldplay styles which I'm not a massive fan of. I do prefer their indie stuff from the early 2000s, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with this song. In fact, it was really good. I think it was a great song, and it definitely deserves 11th. Okay. Next, we've got probably the one that surprised me the most, Bring Me the Horizon. Now, I'm not a fan of metalcore. I've said it in previous videos, but Hospital for Souls by Bring Me the Horizon was an actually really good song, and it does have that metalcore screaming, breakdowns, things like that, but for some reason this just worked for me. You know, I don't like Architects, I don't like Bring Me the Horizon generally, I don't like a lot of these metalcore bands, but this song for some reason just clicked. I think it was a good song, but so yeah, 10th place for it. I think it's good. The Fall by Imagine Dragons is next. I feel like it's not one of the best songs. I have ranked every single Imagine Dragons song. This wasn't quite at the top, but it's still a good song, so it definitely deserves some recognition. Do love the Smoke and Mirrors album as a whole. I think it's one of their best work. In fact, I did rank it second on their albums, and I think that The Fall is a great song, 9th place. But next we do have the shortest song on this entire list. It's only 4 minutes and 51 seconds as their longest song that they ever made, and this is Fall Out Boy. And I always like to compare Fall Out Boy and Panic at the Disco. Those two were the two shortest, and because they kind of came out at the same time, they changed to a more poppy style at the same time. They started as emo, you know, emo pop punk, whatever you call it. They're two like mirrors of each other. But So Much for Stardust, their most recent album, had this really cool song, So Much for Stardust, their longest song to date, and I think it's really, really good. I put it in 8th. I think it's great in my opinion. Okay, but 7th is all the top 7 are long songs, except number 1 actually, but every single song from 7 to 2 is a 9-minute long song or more. So in 7th we've got The Teacher, kind of just fitting in as a 10-minute song, 10 minutes and 4 seconds, and it's by the Foo Fighters' most recent album. I ranked every single Foo Fighters song. The Teacher wasn't too high, but I still kind of recently have found it to be cooler, because when I'm ranking every single song, I generally don't put the really long songs like The Teacher, like The Fall. I've not put them too high, and there's another one coming up. They are still incredible songs, especially in a ranking about long songs. So The Teacher is a really, really cool song. It has some calm moments, it has some classic Foo Fighters moments. It's a great song. Similarly, The Globalist by Muse. The Muse, if you don't know already, is my favourite band. The Globalist is one of the songs that I didn't rank really high in their rankings, but in a list focused specifically on long songs, The Globalist does really well. I think it's got, as I said, for Foo Fighters, it's got some calm moments, it's got a build-up, it's got the epic, you know, classic Muse stuff, and I think it's just a great song, slightly better than The Teacher though. 5th, I'm not sure if I want to keep this here. I might move this down slightly. Innamorata, I'm not really sure how to say it, by Metallica. Another one from their most recent album. A ton of these, like 72 seasons, but here we are. So Much for Stardust. So much of these are on their most recent album. But anyway, Innamorata, I'm not really sure if I want to keep it in 5th, because it's just classic Metallica. There's nothing special about it. But the thing is, I do like Metallica a lot, so I do think that this song is great. And although it does drag out a tiny bit, I feel like compared to other 10-minute long songs, well, this one's 11, but other really long songs, I kind of don't feel like it drags too much, so that's what I kind of like to put it a bit higher. 5th, Innamorata, I'm gonna keep it there for now, maybe I'll move it down. All Around the World. Now again, Oasis, one of my favourite bands, so it does get a slight advantage compared to all the other bands that I'm not as keen on. But All Around the World is a 9-minute song, like kind of an anthemic song that I really, really like, and it definitely deserves to be quite high up on this list. I'm not sure what to talk about it, but yeah, it deserves this. I'm going to move on quite quickly though. Coma by Guns N' Roses. So this one was really high up in this video where I ranked every 10-minute long song with over 15 million streams. And this one was quite famous and also really, really cool. It doesn't really get boring. It's got classic Guns N' Roses stuff. It's got some calm stuff like a lot of 10-minute long songs needs. You can't be just screaming for 10 minutes. You can't be just calm for 10 minutes. It needs a lot of contrast to keep it interesting. And I think Coma does it really well, Guns N' Roses there. So it definitely deserves third. Okay, 2 now. I've got Dry County by Bon Jovi, another one of my favourite bands. As you can see, my favourite bands do get a slight advantage just because, I mean, I am tailored towards that sort of music in general. But Dry County is almost 10 minutes, 9 minutes and 52 seconds, and it's really, really epic. It's not got as much of that changing styles throughout like a lot of songs that are quite high up do, but Dry County is an epic song in my opinion. I ranked it even quite high on the Bon Jovi ranking itself, and I think it's a really, really good song. Definitely deserves a listen. So first place, this song is not my favourite song on the list, and this is another one like Atom Heart Mother. I'm not sure where to rank, but I have put it in first because of its recognition, and I'm not really sure the word, I guess legacy. This is Paranoid Android by Radiohead. So this is a 6 minutes and a half song, so not like a really, really long song. I've heard it being called the Bohemian Rhapsody of the 90s. I can see that. It's got, you know, epic, very hard rock style. It's got classic Radiohead style, very calm stuff, very experimental stuff. It's got all in one song, and I think it's a great song, but it's definitely not my favourite song on the list. You know, I would prefer to listen to Dry County, for example, than Paranoid Android, but I didn't want to put it quite low down because I know that this is probably the best song on this list, even if I don't enjoy listening to it as much as the others. I think this song does have the most recognition by others, the most legacy. I'm quite torn if I want to keep it in first, but for now and for this video, I'm going to put it in first place as the best long song. No, the best longest song. Does this work? No, I'm not rethinking the entire video, okay? This is the best long song ever. I feel like that doesn't work. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like down. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like down below. If you enjoyed my content, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Tell me your favourite song and tell me your favourite song on this list in the comments.